Hurricane Milton has rapidly intensified into a Category 5 storm, originating from a tropical disturbance in the Caribbean. As it approaches Florida's Gulf Coast, forecasters predict catastrophic impacts, including maximum sustained winds exceeding 160 miles per hour and a storm surge that could inundate coastal areas by as much as 15 feet. Evacuations and shelters. In response to the imminent threat, Governor Ron DeSantis has declared a state of emergency across numerous counties, prompting mandatory evacuations. Residents in low-lying areas are urged to seek higher ground, with local authorities establishing emergency shelters equipped with food, water, and medical assistance. Many Floridians are heading to friends or family members' homes further inland or using community shelters as a refuge from the storm. Potential consequences for those who stay. For those who choose to remain, the situation is precarious. Emergency services may be limited during the storm, making rescue operations challenging. The combination of high winds, heavy rainfall, and flooding poses serious risks, including structural damage, power outages, and dangerous debris. People who stay could face life-threatening conditions, as the combination of storm surge and inland flooding could lead to significant water damage and prolonged isolation. Aftermath and recovery. Once Hurricane Milton passes, recovery will be a significant challenge for affected communities. Utilities will likely take days or weeks to restore, and many homes could be rendered uninhabitable. The federal and state governments will mobilize disaster response teams to assess damage, distribute aid, and provide support to those displaced. In the coming days, staying informed through local news and weather updates will be crucial for everyone, whether evacuating or remaining. For those in the storm's path, preparation is key to weathering the storm safely. As Hurricane Milton approaches Florida, residents are preparing for the worst. The storm, with its origins in the Caribbean, is expected to bring torrential rains, hurricane-force winds, and dangerous storm surges that could devastate coastal towns and cities. Many people are evacuating to shelters in safer locations, while those choosing to stay face significant risks, including severe flooding and loss of power. After the storm, recovery will be critical, as communities will need assistance to rebuild and restore essential services. Emergency services are gearing up to respond, but residents are encouraged to stay updated on conditions and to heed local officials' advice during and after the storm. The aftermath of Hurricane Milton will likely require a coordinated effort for recovery, emphasizing the importance of community resilience and support in facing such natural disasters. For those affected, mental and emotional support will also be vital as they navigate the challenges of rebuilding their lives in the storm's wake. As Hurricane Milton bears down on Florida, residents are facing the terrifying reality of a Category 5 storm. With wind speeds over 160 miles per hour and a potential storm surge of up to 15 feet, communities along the Gulf Coast are bracing for catastrophic impacts. Evacuations have been ordered, and shelters are opening their doors to provide refuge. Those who remain may face perilous conditions, including flooding and power outages, with emergency services potentially hindered during the storm. In the aftermath, recovery efforts will be crucial, focusing on restoring utilities, assessing damages, and supporting displaced families. The recovery process will take time and require significant community and governmental assistance. Mental health support will be essential as affected residents cope with the aftermath and begin the long journey of rebuilding their lives. The resilience and spirit of the communities will play a vital role in overcoming the challenges posed by Hurricane Milton, emphasizing the need for unity and support in times of crisis. As Hurricane Milton approaches Florida, residents are facing dire circumstances. With winds exceeding 160 miles per hour and potential storm surges of up to 15 feet, the threat is severe. Mandatory evacuations are in place for coastal areas, with shelters opening across the state to provide refuge. For those choosing to stay, risks include life-threatening flooding, power outages, and structural damage, as emergency services may be limited during the storm. In the aftermath, recovery efforts will focus on restoring utilities, assessing damages, and providing emotional support to affected individuals and families. The resilience of communities will be essential as they navigate the challenges of rebuilding their lives after such a catastrophic event. Mental health resources will also be vital as residents cope with loss and uncertainty. Ultimately, the journey to recovery will require collective effort, support, and a focus on safety and well-being for all impacted by Hurricane Milton. Before Hurricane Milton strikes, here are essential safety tips for Florida residents. Evacuate early, if advised. Leave your home and head to designated shelters or safer locations. Prepare an emergency kit. Include food, water, medications, flashlights, batteries, first aid supplies, and important documents. Secure your property. Board up windows, secure loose items, and clear gutters to prevent flooding. Stay informed. Monitor local news and weather updates for changing conditions and follow guidance from local authorities. Create a communication plan. Ensure your family knows how to reach each other and where to meet if separated.